What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Red Beard's Garage, and this is the Road to Horsepower. On today's episode, we're going to be testing the all-new Wildcat 240RS from EC Carburetors. This is going to be the new king of the throne in small block performance. This is a 240cc engine that comes with a ton of performance packed in right out of the box. So if you're a hobbyist that want to build up the ultimate performance engine, this is going to be the best platform. Or if you don't want to mess with anything, you just want to unbox some power and get good power on your go-kart or mini bike, this is still going to be the #1 engine to use. EC hasn't released any kind of information on horsepower and torque numbers because they was waiting for us to do our dyno testing, and that is super awesome. They're trusting us with that. And the reason for that is we've done so many different variations of engines and performance parts on our dyno, and it's really important to use the same dyno when comparing engines. Everybody's dyno can be set up differently, and they can't have inflated numbers, so that's why it was important for us to test this engine, because we did so many variations, and you can trust our opinion. So a little bit about this engine: it does have a 6100 RPM governor coil, and it has a cast aluminum flywheel, so that flywheel is going to be safe up to 8500 RPMs. But if I was actually revving this engine up to 8500, of course I would swap over to a billet flywheel, just to know I'm getting the most out of my engine and the most safety. It does still have the cast aluminum rod. It has a flat top piston that's around about 10 thousandths in the hole, has an 18cc head with large valves. This engine also comes with a Bonsai 265 cam right out of the box and 26-pound valve springs and billet retainers, and the WC22 carb, which is a 26mm round slide carb. So on today's episode, we're going to be testing this in stock form, just how it comes out of the box, to see what kind of power it makes. Then we're going to switch over to a billet rod just to be safe to rev it past that 6100 RPM limit. We're going to swap over to an unlimited coil. After that, we're going to switch over to EC's billet flywheel. This is going to give us less drag, a little bit more timing, and see if it makes more power with just the swap out to a billet flywheel. And last but not least, we're going to be testing a hand-ported head from EC. This is an 18cc head, the same head that this engine comes on stock. The only thing is EC went through it and hand-ported it, port matched the intake manifold. So this thing should make some big power differences on the dyno. We've seen in the past, heads is where you make all the power in your engine and it's free horsepower left on the table. So I'm really excited to see what that ported head will do on this engine. So without further ado, let's break this engine in, get it on the dyno, and then run some tests on it and see what this thing will make. Make sure to put your guesses down below on what horsepower and torque you think this 240cc engine will make. At the end of the video, we're going to slap it on a mini bike or a go-kart and see what kind of power. We haven't ran this whatsoever. I haven't even started it. So I'm super excited to get this thing on the dyno and see the power numbers. So we slapped on one of EC Carburetors' forged rod and then swapped out that governor coil for an unlimited one for the second run. For the third run, we're going to remove the cast aluminum flywheel and install one of EC's billet flywheels with more timing and less drag. Finally, we're going to slap on this ported head, which is going to give us a bigger jump in power. This is one of the easiest and most effective performance upgrades that you can do on your engine. All right, so Lonnie hasn't even heard it run or anything.
Yeah.
No, 240. So this made 17.25 horsepower and 15 foot-pounds of torque. So to put that in perspective, this engine makes the same torque as the 228 made in horsepower, which is pretty crazy. So
I'm excited.
15, like, we need to build this engine into a torque engine. We haven't did that on the road to horsepower. So I think that'll probably be our goal with this, is to make as much torque as possible and not really worry, concern ourselves with horsepower. But
I think the reason we haven't is because most of the single cylinders, you're not going to get that much torque.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, we're getting close to, not close to max torque, but we're in decent builds. That's what you normally get, about 15, something around that. So we pulled off Lonnie's old Tilson 225. I think, yeah, Tilson 225. It's got the MoFlow head. You can get those heads at blackmarketinnovations.com or something like that. I can't remember. It's expensive.
Sounds sketchy.
Go to Black Market. So the billet head, do I think it's worth $700? No. You could spend a lot of money. For $700, you could buy this engine with some parts and make this kind of power for the same price as just a head. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you're drag racing and doing all out craziness, then yeah, you would want a head like that. But I don't see, this is the same 18cc combustion chamber. The billet head has an 18cc combustion chamber. It's just billet over cast. So Lonnie's going to give this thing a rip across the woods, or across the field, and maybe in the woods, and see what she feels like. The 240 Wildcat 240RS. Yeah, that car's doing real nice.
It sounds mean. Feels mean too.
It feel good?
Oh yeah, dude, the torque, you can feel it. I was telling the camera, like, to be just kind of out of the box. I mean, what all's on it?
So it comes with a cam.
This thing makes it way hotter, but I didn't have anything on my eyes either, so.
Yeah. So this engine comes with the cam out of the box, the same cam we run and everything, 265. Comes with the flywheel and 6,100 RPM governor. So all we did was put a billet flywheel, which it gained like a horsepower from it.
Yeah.
And more timing. Put a billet rod in it because for value it doesn't, and then put
It sounds way deeper.
Does it?
On the I like it a lot. It sounds awesome.
I think it's a freaking 240, which is crazy. It's pushing about as big as you can make on these small blocks.
Yeah, and this thing feels great.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
The value, and we ain't even really started building it yet, like doing.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
It's gonna be sick. Putting a bigger cam in it, maybe some. Yeah, we'll just make it.
And it's still got a governor, even though it's 6,100.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
I
it
took
doesn't.
that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Factory comes with 6,100. You don't really need to take it out because it don't make much power after that.
Yeah.
Until we did the ported head, it made it at 6,600, but you know, for the most part, you don't need it. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video on this Wildcat 240RS. I'm telling you, if you're in the market for an engine and this is in your budget, you should definitely try this out. This thing made crazy power, and porting the head, I can't believe, first off, that the flywheel made that big of a difference. That timing that flywheel gave it was a huge jump. But when you port the head on any of these engines, that's the most power you can gain from a single thing, and it's free to do so. You just need a Dremel. It does take a little bit of time. You got to be patient. Don't eat too much material, and just kind of flow the air through the head in the direction it's going, and you'll make good results. So let us know what you think about this Wildcat 240RS. We can't wait to do even more to this engine. I think this is going to be the go-to engine. I'm going to switch out from my 224 on my bike once we build this up just a little bit more. So we have some cool stuff coming to this. We're also going to be building out Lonnie's Tilson 225 that has the billet head on it. We kind of never did anything else with it, so we're going to revamp it with a different cam setup. We're going to do with a different set of ratio rockers, and probably stroke it to a 240. So stay tuned for that. Let us know what you think about this Wildcat 240RS. It is my new favorite engine for sure. We knew it was coming out. People was asking me all the time what my favorite engine was, and I knew this was going to take the cake. I didn't expect the numbers that it's making, but it's super exciting. So let us know what you think about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love you, and God bless.